bad news for the retirement fearmongers, which is good news for us because we're the good guys, they're the bad guys. So on the side of the righteousness and wholesomeness, us, the good guys, good news because the bad news, anytime there's bad news for the commies, the liberals, that's always good news for the other side. All right, it's a seesaw. Bad news for them is good news for us. Bad news for us is good news for them. So this is good news, and this comes from the EBRI Retirement Confidence Survey that was reported on by the American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries. Imagine being what group are you part of? The American Society of Pension Professionals and Actuaries, man. And what we're going to see here is 77% of the 2,521 Americans, 2,521 Americans surveyed in January said they're at least somewhat confident that they will be financially ready to retire. And 25% are very confident, which is better than what it was last year, which is 74%. 74 and 21. So we have a pretty significant jump in terms of people's confidence in retirement. Now, mostly actually, it's got to do with the markets. Anytime the markets go up, more and more people are going to be confident. Anytime the markets go down, less and less people are going to be confident. That's just the way it works. But still, man, we'll take the W when we can because we like to stick it to the doomsdayers and say, look, you guys are just wrong, man. Let's see, 72% of millennials are confident. Only 67% of boomers and only 63% of my generation is confident. So the millennials and those who belong to Gen Z are confident about their financial readiness for retirement. So good, man. 76 of those who are still employed say they are at least somewhat confident they will have sufficient funds to cover the basic expenses during retirement. Confidence among those who were not covered by a retirement plan was far lower, though. Yeah, I tell you, being covered by a plan, especially when there's a match, is incredibly important, dude. You got to get a match. The match will make or break your retirement. It's just that simple. That's why I'm actually all for these government matching programs, and I've talked about this a couple times. I don't know, I'm sure on videos, but also like on Twitter and stuff and Facebook. At first, the government, depending on your income, I'm just going off the top of my head. I can't remember. I've actually thought this through. You put $5,000 in, the government will match $5,000. You put if your income is less than $100,000, or your household, if you got 6 people in your household and you put $5,000 in, we'll match $5,000, something like that. You see what I'm saying? The match is critical. It's a critical thing. And if there's no match, it's just there's no incentive to save. If there is a match, there's an incentive to save. I cannot stress that enough. In fact, what I like too is something along these lines. I think someone proposed it. I think it was a lib too, and I actually appreciate this. I forgot what it was. That you can't touch that money without a penalty, a pretty significant penalty too. So if they're going to do a match, you can't touch that money until you're 55, something like that. I mean, whatever it is. Because if the government, i.e. the taxpayer, are going to support your retirement, we want that money used for retirement, if that makes sense. I thought that's fantastic. So anyway, I'm a big fan. Long time, first time. Let's see. Many of those who are still employed think they're doing a good job preparing financially for retirement. Yep. Let's see, right here. But what Americans believe they need to save for a comfortable retirement and their expectations about they will be able to save are not aligning. They found most Americans think they need to have $1.2 million to reach the savings goal to have a comfortable retirement, and yet 46% expect to have less than $500,000, and half of them anticipate having less than that amount. So the average American thinks you need 1.2 million bones to have a comfortable retirement, and yet 46% are saying I'm not even going to have 500,000, and half of that 46% say I'm not even going to have 250. So, and yet these people are still comfortable in their ability to retire. Why? Why would that be? Oh, yeah, all right, because we are saving for retirement, this thing called Social Security. But, Josh, they're going to take away Social Security. Okay. Let's see. Concerns remain. 61% of those who are still working say that debt is at least a minor problem. 100%, dude, get rid of debt, and that's a big problem that goes away. Let's see. 47% of those who are firm surveyed said debt is hurting their ability to save for retirement. 100%, man. A strong majority say they believe an employer has a responsibility to help employees with financial planning. And this is from Empower. So Empower would be loved, have regulation that says employers, you have to have financial planning. No, you don't. Employers don't have a responsibility to help with your financial planning. Employers shouldn't be involved in any of this crap, dude. I mean, they should give you I love the match. I'm a big fan. They shouldn't be involved in your health care. They shouldn't be involved in your retirement plan at all. I mean, what they should do, frankly, is instead of having a healthcare plan through your company, just say, here's an extra $10,000. Go buy as a voucher. Go buy your own health insurance. Here's $5,000 to put into a retirement plan. Dude, talk about the portability. That's what they should do. We on the right, libertarian right, have been arguing this for decades. None of this should be aligned to your work, dude. I was talking to a guy today, and let's put it this way. His company, it's a government company. Once you're 20 years in, you get a pension and health care. All right. Once you're 20 years in. I said, oh, sweet. So you've been there about 20 years. No, I got laid off. It has to be 20 consecutive years. So he's laid off at some point. Now he's got rehired back in his a state firm. But still, it's like because he got laid off, it violated that 20 consecutive years or whatever. I can't remember, 30, I think it's 20. And so basically, so I said, so basically, you could be working 19 years and 6 months and get laid off, and then you're screwed. He still gets the pension, but he doesn't get the health care. He said, yep. I said, that ain't right, dude. That ain't right. All this stuff should be portable, where you have no obligation to your employer whatsoever. They say, as long as you're working there, we're going to give you this money, and then you're on your own to take care of it. That's what it should be. But anyway, good news on the retirement front. This whole thing like, no one can retire. We don't have $1 million. And yet the confidence is quite high that you have ability to retire. That's so. I love it. All right. God bless. Love your thoughts. We'll see ya.